Hey, you guys, Erico here. So this is a topic where we have moments in Korean entertainment where I'm just like, why did you decide to do that? This has been happening a lot this year where I'm seeing a lot of different news and it's just like, you do something and you know there's gonna be a reaction, an effect, and people having opinions on it. So it's like, why do that? Like, why don't you think before you act or before you do something? Now, for the first part of the story, this doesn't apply to this, but just talking about this whole situation and how social media and public opinion is split. We have one side, then another side, and it has to do with this clip containing Sunwoo, who is of the well-known popular idol boy band The BOYZ. The BOYZ. The BOYZ. They the BOYZ. I'm gonna put Z. Oh, I amuse myself. But in this clip, you know, he is doing what a lot of other idols do. This is the life of an idol. They are going somewhere and they get bombarded with media, fans, flashing lights, all of it all at once, and it's just like, oh. And so, you know, you see him and he's walking in and he drops his AirPod out of his ear. And he's going like, oh, my AirPod, oh my goodness, oh. You know, this clip is short. It's very short and sweet. Some people might not even think much of the clip. But there's context. There's context and negative reaction. So one of the bodyguards goes and they pick up the AirPod and he takes the AirPod and turns and goes about his business. There's nothing else to this clip. Korean social media and the netizens blew up. Vein popping out the top of their head. People were just absolutely livid over this clip. You're not in the Korean culture, you don't know anything about the Korean culture, you might be like, what is the big deal? Well, it has to do with a lot of customs, it has to do with a lot of social norms, it has to do with the overall center of their culture and how they decide to go about things and manners. So with Sunwoo being someone who got his AirPod back, should be grateful, you know. He should show respect, he should, you know, bow, say 감사합니다. You know, show that he's grateful, take it with two hands. This is Korean culture. So when people see that you don't do that, you don't show that you're grateful, it's seen as very rude. There's a lot of social cues in Korean culture where it's like there's certain things you need to do where if you're not Korean or if you're Korean American or if you're a foreigner and you don't know the culture, you might not realize it's rude. And what Korean people will do, some people might pull you up on it, others will talk about you behind your back. It does happen a lot where they'll be like, that was rude, it was rude to me. And you know, you might get like the cold shoulder a little bit, or you might feel like a ting in the air of people feeling a certain type of way towards you. So in this situation with the whole manners and it going haywire, people had a lot of opinions saying that Sunwoo was ungrateful, Sunwoo has a bad attitude, because there have been other situations in the past with K-pop idol groups with them having nasty attitudes. Entertainment has entertainers that have nasty attitudes, that are very ungrateful. So they were trying to put this label on Sunwoo and everyone started attacking him. And so there were the fans who were, you know, they trying to protect the boys. And they're like, okay, it's a clip. We don't know what happened in the clip. Which I agree with. It's like, how can you know what happened in this clip? How can you judge his character off of this one clip of him just taking the AirPod and going on about his business? Then there were other people like, oh no, he an idol, he ungrateful because he's good looking and people fawn over him all the time and it just shows that he's conceited and he's stuck up. You know, like they're just people you will find in this life that really just find any reason to not like you. Sometimes it's jealousy, sometimes it's that they see that you're doing something that they secretly want to do and they can't do it, so it's like they'll wait in the wings for you to slip up, and when they find any little thing they could have something against you, they'll jump on it, and it's just like, Like, oh yeah, see, I told you. Yeah, everybody, let's attack that person. Oh yeah, that person is a bad person. So it got really, really bad. It got really bad for Sunwoo. So much to the point that he saw the reaction and he was shocked. He was speechless. He was taken back, completely just distraught almost. And I think he's still kind of distraught because it's like, how did perception turn left so fast? And this happens with the Korean public opinion, unfortunately, especially with dealing with online. And this is the part where I'm like, why? So we have K-pop idol turned actress Nana, who isn't well known now for being an actress. She was in the mega popular, legendary girl group After School. This is my era of K-pop. I absolutely loved After School back in the day. I mean, huge fan of them. One of my favorite K-pop girl groups. Sad with what happened with them, the graduation system, all of that, them having subgroups, them breaking up. It was all over the place, but Nana is now like, you know, an actress, kind of like inspiring model. She is seen as being very pretty, very fashionable. A lot of people look up to her simply because of her image and how she carries herself. So this clip is making rounds around the internet, and she's one of the people that sees this clip. So she's gonna comment like everybody else. She's a public figure. She's gonna put in the comments, oh yeah, no, he needs to be scalded. Oh yeah, no, he needs to be reprimanded. Oh yeah, no. So, her being a public figure, her being well known, what do you think this does? It gives the okay for the people that were already hating on him, already sending him harassing messages and comments. They're like, oh look, Nana's in here. She's supporting us. She's also agrees with us. Oh yeah, look, you know, we love her. She's beautiful. She's saying the same thing. Let's continue attacking him. Let's continue spreading the narrative that he's an awful person. So, Nana had the right to her opinion. I feel like she definitely had the right to her opinion. And so from here, I'm going to save my thoughts until I finish, like, overall what happened. It got really bad. You know, fans of the BOYZ started dumping on her pretty much. They're like, okay, why would you comment anything? Why would you judge him off of this clip? So this is the part, I do kind of like this, but then I'm kind of like, I don't like the situation that it was done in. So I love the fact that she stood 10 toes in what she said. I love it because there's a lot of doubling down, but doubling down still happens. And, you know, she was like, you know, the little clip kind of told me everything I needed to know. I stand by what I said. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, ooh. I was like, she tough. She's tough. You know, they still were attacking her, still attacking him. It's all mixed up, not just a whole big ball of negativity. Sunwoo eventually does come out and apologize, and he's like, I'm really not the type of person. I'm the type of person that's grateful for everyone, my backup dancer, the cleaning staff. It's hurting me that people are putting out this image that I'm this mean, ungrateful idol that is not happy when people help me out, that is just mean and stuck up and conceited. And you so Nana once again is still, you know, running around. They're still like, okay, Nana, like, you go say anything else? Sunwoo still is battling all of the criticism. And it gets to a breaking point where his agency, his label is like, you know what, we just gonna start suing people. We gonna file a lawsuit, go down to the police station, because it's getting out of hand now where it's like, okay, he apologized. Okay, he said it was a misunderstanding. This situation has not gone away, and it's still burning up Korean social media as we speak. There's still people talking about this. So much so that even Nana once again had to come out again, and she was like, okay, this is where the doubling down comes in. She's like, I wasn't judging his character, I was just judging the actions in the clip, is basically what she said to kind of sum this up. Okay. So yeah, you know that she was like, please stop attacking Sunwoo. Oh, all right. So this is still ongoing. We had a situation where it is definitely culture, and there's a lot of people that are outside of the Korean culture that have a lot to say about this. I will say this, as someone who tries to be not as biased and try to understand both sides. If you're not in the culture, if you're not Korean, then it's kind of hard for you to be like, oh, it's not a big deal. That's not your culture, that's not your society. You're looking at it from the outside looking, and you're like, well, Korean culture needs to be changed and all of that. This is a custom and mannerism they've been doing for years. They're not going to change it. It has all to do with hierarchy. It has all to do with showing manners and respect for people that are older than, say, Sunwoo, people who are working with Sunwoo, and also this kind of new image of idols being very hateful behind closed doors. So I understand where the reaction is coming from. However, let's get on Nana. So this disappoints me. When does she have enough time to be looking at what other people are doing on social media? Shouldn't you be getting some more acting gigs? In fact, what I would love for you to do is get that after school reunion together, so that, you know, I would absolutely love that. I would love like a reunion album or something, like literally get it together, because this was not okay. She, as a public figure, had no business commenting on that clip. She made it worse. And there's no amount of her doubling down, no amount of her trying to switch up and be like, oh, don't attack Sunwoo. You already made it happen by commenting on it. You're at fault in this too. There's nothing that you can say to try to turn it around. You were wrong. You had no business commenting on it. Now, was she allowed to have an opinion on it? Yes, but she should have kept the opinion off social media. It was not for public consumption. Her opinion of that clip was something she should have had behind closed doors with her friends. Nobody in the public should have known anything about how she felt about that clip. She made this situation 100 times worse, and I was very disappointed when I looked into what was going on with this, because this was a topic that was like all over my feed, that was coming up a lot, and I was like, what is going on with this? Then I was like, this isn't that bad, but then when it got to the layer of her being involved in, I was like, no, why? Why would you do that? It's like, why would you aid in all of the harassment and the negativity? Then let's say something happens where it gets to be too much and he decides that he wants to exit this world, like so many other Korean celebrities. She's gonna be up there posting apologies. She's gonna be up there screaming and crying, talking about, I didn't mean it like that. But you had no business commenting on it publicly. So it's like, I do look at her a little bit differently now, because it's like, why? Like, even if what was being said about him was true, let's say, she still should not have commented on it publicly. That's something that she should have kept to herself. Something that is dinner time conversation, something that you talk about with your friends. Never should have been on social media. Did not like that at all. And now it's like she tried to walk it back and be like, oh no, please don't attack him, but you aided in supporting them attacking him. So it shows me a little bit of what type of person you are. She's a beautiful girl. I love her fashion sense. I love the fact that when they did try to come at her, that she stood on what she said. Like, she didn't really backtrack what she said. She did double down on what she said, but she didn't backtrack on what she said. I love, too, how Sunwoo also... I'm loving this new age of the Korean entertainers where they're clapping back a little bit. You know, it's kind of like... I know you all, as a fan, might not like, you know, what I have to say, but y'all, like, don't need to defend me. What is happening here, I do not like it. It is not me. Stop it. Like, I was loving, like, all the statements that were coming out. I do want Korean idols to have more of a voice. I do want them to clap back a little bit. I do want them to not stand for people attacking them all the time and them just putting out a lukewarm apology or just kind of be like, oh my God, like, you know, please don't say anything about me. No, it's okay for you all to clap back. It's okay for you all to have something to say against the negativity. It's just that this was a situation where Nana shouldn't have been involved at all. She should have stayed out of it. She had no business being involved in this at all. So now when people start hating on her, when she starts getting bullied, we all gonna remember this situation, are we not? And we're not gonna feel bad. When something happens where it's a misunderstanding with her, we're gonna remember this situation. And nobody should feel bad. Because it's like, you inserted yourself in something that you shouldn't have. When you could have silently looked at it, had an opinion on it, but the opinion didn't need to be out in the open. The guy is getting enough hate as it is. No matter if it's true or not. No matter if she knows something we don't know, he might be a hateful person behind closed doors. That's not the point. The point is that her opinion should not have been in the public eye for everyone to see. Because now it's like, oh, it's her versus him. And she's trying to walk it back. But it's like, no, people have a right to feel how they feel about you now. I feel a certain way about her now. Because it's like, what were you thinking? Were you not using your head? Why would you do that? Why would you kind of indirectly become a cyberbully? Indirectly become a negative Neosin? When we all know you're from an idol group too. You have been in the blunt of negativity and people saying negative things about you. So you should know. So why would you go and post something about him and helping to fuel the hate already? No, there was nothing right about that situation. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. It wasn't a good move at all. You know, like, this is coming from someone, I'm not a big fan of the BOYZ. Like, I know their music. I like a few songs. I listen to a lot of K-pop music, and I'm older now. I don't really have a fandom or anything like that. So I really don't have a dog to pick in this fight. It's just, you know, right, and then there's wrong. But yeah, I hope that Sunwoo continues to stay strong. I hope that Nana learns that you don't have to put your input in everything and to kind of just stay being a celebrity. It's a lot to think about. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also a blog, New Stage Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real. And I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Put below how you feel about this whole topic.